welcome to another edition of Newsmaker Live with me, Kendall Burton. This evening we have two special guests from the St. Lucia Motor X Club in the persons of Mr. Oswald Simon, the Vice President of the club, along with Kevin Elcock, the President of the St. Lucia Motor X Club. Gentlemen, welcome to Newsmaker Live. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thanks very much.
I want to start with a history of the St. Lucia Motor X Club. How did it start? What prompted it to start the club?
I'll let you go ahead and answer.
Well, the St. Lucia Motor X Club started since 1991 with, well, of course, Wayne Quintin, Richard DeVoe, Gary DeVoe, Chris Kessel, and Bill. Those guys started the club and started riding, where they had no tracks, and you know, it just sprang up from there. And you know, they reached out to the other members like myself and Kevin and Brian and Wing Wing and all the others, Terrell of course, and that's where it started.
What was the overall objective of establishing the club?
The objective of the club is just mainly to just ride for fun, just ride motorcycle, dirt bike, that is, where you build a track and you ride off-road, and that's basically what it was all about.
What's your membership like now?
Presently our membership is about 130 members.
And what's the membership composed of? Is it an equal number of male, female, more males than females, or females involved at all? You know, is there an age limit?
Well, at the moment we do have quite a number of male members, you know, because it all started with males, of course. They did have support from the female companions, but you know, it always seemed to pull in a lot more males than females. These days, of course, you do have a lot of females who seem to be tagging along and coming on board.
But not active bike riders?
Well, there are not that many active bike riders. In fact, there are a few women within the club, or that are actually affiliated with the club, that do actually ride.
Okay, so there is place in the club for persons who are not necessarily owners of bikes, but who have a love or an interest in motorcycles.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the other membership options that you have?
We open our doors, you know, to persons who want to come in, associate themselves with the club. You don't necessarily have to be a rider, you know. There's always support that we need when it comes to hosting our events. You know, we have persons that are there with us when it comes to preparing, you know, planning. You need hands on deck, of course, when you're having activities, you know. But we have a lot of women that support us when it comes to our bars, our food, you know, and we are very thankful to those persons, of course, you know.
What are some of the activities that you actually involved in? Do you have stuff happening apart from the regular races and rides?
Well, yes, we do have activities. We have activities like, well, of course, car wash, bike wash. We have activity, well, we feed the needy every last Saturday of the month. Every last Saturday of the month, we feed the needy.
Okay.
So we do have activities besides just ride a motorcycle.
You don't do a good job of publicizing those activities, do you?
We need to try doing a better job at it.
Well, let's start with this show tonight. The police recently released some statistics for 2013 in terms of accidents. They're reporting that there's been a reduction in the number of collisions on the roads in 2013. However, they feel that motorcyclists are overrepresented in those statistics. Do you share that concern?
To be honest, I do feel like sometimes I hear about motorcycle accidents too often. You know, although over my years I've kind of heard the numbers going down. I remember growing up, you pretty much used to hear about it all the time. But right now you've actually heard the numbers going down, though when it happens, it's not a good thing, you know. But I personally have lost one of my closest friends from school in a motorcycle accident. So, you know, I kind of feel the pain when those things happen. But honestly, we always push for safety within our club. You know, we always try to encourage persons to wear helmets, to obey the law out on the roads. You know, I know the police are doing their job as well when it comes to ensuring that there's safety and proper usage of the roads in terms of motorcycle riders. So we continue to push and urge motorcyclists to be safe all the time.
I want to talk to you about safety issues as well as adherence to the rules and regulations and laws on the road. But I want to start at the beginning before we talk about what causes the accidents. Somebody once has an interest in riding motorcycles. Are there any established facilities or schools where one can go to acquire that skill and knowledge?
Well, yes, within the club we have some members who give lessons. Well, we have Davidson Belizier, we have Brian Leos, and Wayne Quintin. Those guys are professionals and they give lessons to persons who need lessons to learn how to ride a motorcycle properly. And we are in the process of establishing a school within the club where we can teach people how to ride properly and all different type of motorcycle. So we're in the process of doing that.
Walk me through what the process would be like from learning the basics.
It's your skill level. We will have different size of bikes. Persons who don't know nothing about a motorcycle, we cannot put you on a motorcycle that has power. You'll have to start off with a motorcycle that is very mild in speed and where you can learn properly. And that is how we were going to start off with the different groups. Versus if there's a guy who wants to learn, we can teach you on a more advanced motorcycle. If there's a lady who wants to learn, we can teach you on a beginner's bike.
Some people might take offense to that, you know.
No, it's the proper way because you will learn faster on a bike that the CC is very low than one that is powerful. Because the powerful ones might scare you and then might cause you to fall.
But what do you think are the characteristics, or what are the characteristics of a good rider?
Well, you definitely have to start with discipline. Discipline, you need to be smart about it as well. You know, every good rider started with knowing that, you know, they could control their bike. It's true, a lot of persons sometimes see riders out there and probably think, well, they could do better. But it's just that the rider who's displaying his skill at the moment is just using his smarts. You know, I'm sure at any time you could go up that ladder. You know, you start and you gradually increase on your skill level, and then, you know, you might see that same rider which you saw last week, you might see him 2 months later, and then you see a totally different rider. So I believe it all has to start with discipline and being smart about it.
You think motorcyclists have gotten a bad rap? There seems to be a perception that you're a law unto yourselves, you do what you want, you ride as you want, you know, and you with impunity. If you're speaking about in St. Lucia,
I kind of see that, you know, and every time I speak with persons, I try to encourage them that it's more than what other people think about you as a rider. You know, at the end of the day, you know, your life is on the line. So I try to encourage persons all the time to ride smart, to be safe when they ride, you know, and not only go out there and ride like you are in a hurry to get somewhere, but ride like, you know, think about the family that you have, think about tomorrow, what you want to do, think about the goals that you have set out for yourself to achieve, you know, along your lifeline, not just now is the moment I ride and then that's it, you know.
Anything you want to add to that, Mr. Simon?
Well, pretty much the same. When riding a motorcycle, your life basically is in your hands, and you have to try and ride safe as possible. And if you respect the laws and respect other road users, I believe that will make it much better, so that you could reach where you're going and then you will be free from accident. But if you have no respect for other road users, then that puts you in danger and them in danger also. So I'm urging to people, pleading to them that whenever you hop on a motorcycle, you must not be fooled by the motorcycle speed, but you have to take charge, take control of that motorcycle. And once you have discipline and you know how to ride properly, then I believe it will just make you a better rider.
Motorcyclists subject to the same obligations as, let's say, a vehicle owner, a car owner, automobile owner, in terms of permits, licenses, regular inspections, and that sort of thing. Are you? Let's start with the permits.
Yes.
Yeah. You granted a permit initially for a few months.
Yes. Yeah? But after that permit, you need a license. You need a license to ride a motorcycle. Because
what's the time frame for the permit?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
And after which you need a license to ride a motorcycle. You cannot just ride a motorcycle on a permit and be renewing your permit every time. I mean, you need a license to ride a motorcycle.
That is an issue, isn't it? The renewal of permits.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think your club, the St. Lucia Motor X Club, has a role to play, a responsibility in working with the police to address that issue? And how do you suggest or propose that is done?
That's a tough question. To be honest, stuff like that legal matter, that would basically be dealt with between the police and, I believe, communications. You know.
But you don't think you have any role to play in that?
The most that we could do is try to encourage persons to go out and do things the right way. You know. I mean, we usually have meetings with our members, and you know, our members from the history of the club, from what I've seen, we seem to be very disciplined when it comes to following the law and of course our safety aspect of it. So when it comes to enforcing, you know, getting your license within the club members, that I could guarantee we could really push for.
Yeah, but you only have 100+ members. That's a small minority compared to the number of other bikers out there. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back with you for a break. You're watching Newsmaker Live. I'm Kendall Burton. My guest this evening, Oswald Simon, the Vice President of the St. Lucia Motor X Club, and Mr. Kevin Elcock, the President of that club. We'll be right back.